Welcome to the Becoming Your Best Version podcast. I am your host, Maria Leonard Olsen. I am an attorney in Washington, D.C. I am obviously a podcaster. I am an author. My most popular book is called 50 After 50, Reframing the Next Chapter of Your Life, on which I did a TEDx talk called Turning Life's Challenges into a Force for Good. If you wouldn't mind going to my website, marialeonardolsen.com, and hitting the like button on as many things as you can, I would very much appreciate it. And if you would review this podcast as well, that helps increase visibility since we all know it's a numbers game. So I started this podcast 6 years ago because my work in the realm of women in midlife has brought me into contact with amazing women who have inspired me and I think will inspire you. So today, joining us from California by way of Australia is Michele Blood. She was a successful songwriter and rock singer in Australia, and after a near fatal car accident, while in the hospital with many serious injuries, she created positive affirmation songs that not only healed her body, but took her to worldwide success. These affirmation songs affect the right and left hemispheres of the brain. Lyrics, the left hemisphere, and melody and music, the right hemisphere. So the new positive images go straight to the subconscious mind. That is why millions of people worldwide have downloaded her affirmation power songs. In addition to creating products and seminars worldwide, she hosts public mystical success events that have been held in more than 26 countries. She's co-written and created more than 80 books, music CDs, audio programs, TV shows, and videos on positive thought, mind transformation, and meditation. We'll talk about her latest work and her apps that she has. And she has some great people behind her. Jack Canfield, the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul series, says Michele Blood's energy is incredible. She is a walking billboard for what she teaches, a high vibration being. She has done many years of meditation, transforming her consciousness, and teaches others how to do this. She shared the stage with such people as Dr. Deepak Chopra, Dr. Wayne Dyer, and many other transformational authors and teachers. So I am excited to have her here. She's offering a free gift, which is in the show notes. Her website is themysticalexperience.com. She's on all the social media as well. Welcome, Michele.
Thank you, Maria. Lovely to be here with you. I love
Wow.
your podcast. Love what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, your website is rich with content, free videos, information about the mystical experience. Tell us, our listeners, what is the mystical experience?
A mystical experience, everyone has had one, even if they're not aware of it. It's when your heart opens, your mind becomes still, there's no thought, and you just feel love for everything without any person or any reason behind it. It's just, you could be looking at a sunset and you don't realize you've got no thought and you're just immersed in the sunset with the waves if you're down the beach or mountains. It's I think people first have their mystical experience uh, when they're in nature or when they first see a newborn baby, because that's just God in form without all the rubbish.
Yes, yes.
It's when you feel that oneness with life. That's a mystical experience. And the more moments you have of that silence, and to get away from the word meditation, because that scares some people off, just to have more and more moments of silence, you awaken more and more. You awaken, your instincts become stronger, you just know what to do and when to do it, because your higher self has connected with you. Because I look at the higher self as a diamond that's coated with experiences that aren't always good. And so you can't always feel your intuition because it's coated by lines of attention to things in the past that sort of hold you in the past, or project you into the future, but not in a happy way. So once you get rid of all those fears, your life becomes one of joy. Your whole life, you just want to release suffering from other people and give people happiness in any way you can.
Wonderful. So tell us about this near-death experience. What happened?
Well, I was on my way home from a gig in a truck, actually. I don't know why it says car. I've got to get that bio changed. We were driving from Brisbane to Sydney, which is about, in a truck, it's about 15-hour drive, straight after a gig. You know, it's a long way. Australia's a big country, not many
Mhm.
people. And the truck driver fell asleep at the wheel. And as the passenger, all the musical equipment and everything went into me. So I won't go into how grossly broken I was because I don't want anyone to lose their breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But it was pretty bad. It was really, really bad. One of the operations went for 17.5 hours. Isn't that amazing that a doctor can stand there doing an operation like that?
Yes.
They just amaze me, these bone doctors. They're just incredible. Anyway, and I thank them every day. But that's how my life went. I thought my life was the best. I'd been singing on TV since I was 5. I had a great band. It took me years to get the right band together. We had our new record label with Time Warner. We just finished our first, well, not our first rock video, but our major big rock video,
Mhm.
and album was released and everything was going great. We were touring with the Pretenders and all these different people, and
Wow.
just it was great. We were really breaking ground, and then this happened. So it's amazing that was the best thing that ever happened to me. You would think, looking on the outside, what? but
Yes.
but that's how it happened. I didn't have a near death experience in the hospital. I mean,
Mm.
sort of, a little bit. I went out of my body once, and I sort of was on the top of the ceiling, and I could see myself. But since then, through meditation, I've gone through that stargate of light many, many, many times. You
Wow.
don't have to die to go through that amazing mystical experience that I want everyone in the world to experience, because it's not life changing, it is soul changing.
Wow. So did you continue your music career after the accident or no?
Yes, oh yes, I
Okay.
never stopped it. But the thing was, working with Bob Proctor, because the media found out about my amazing healing through creating these affirmation songs. And I didn't intend for these affirmation songs to go out to the public, Maria, because that would have been uncool as far as I was concerned.
Mm.
But I was doing affirmations in the hospital. I read about it, I mean, heard about it on this tape, that people were giving me these tapes. And if you're really young, Google it. Cassette tape. Anyway, and it's something with, when you hear something for the first time and something within the marrow of your bones, you just go, that's true. I know that's true. And
Mhm.
so I did this affirmation: I am healed. I know I am. I love myself. I am my friend. And it wasn't working because, as all these authors were saying, it's got to go into your subconscious mind. So you've got to emotionalize it. I
Mhm.
couldn't emotionalize it because what
Mhm.
I was looking at was, I hadn't eaten in about 6 weeks. I was on a food drip, a morphine drip, in traction, and
Wow.
in incredible pain. I'd pass out every few minutes from the pain. And so I couldn't emotionalize it. But
Mhm.
then a few weeks later, I had an epiphany. You're a singer-songwriter. You can't get a damn song out of your head, even if you want to sometimes, especially jingles,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I just asked my brother to put in blank tape into the cassette player, press record, and I just started, I am healed, I know I am. I love myself, I am my friend. Over and over and over again for 90 minutes, I sang it. And then I
Wow.
would just listen to it over and over again. And it changed my vibration. I didn't feel suicidal or anything. Like, even if I can't walk again or walk again properly, I can still do this, I can still do that. It changed me so much that it went out to the media. People found out about it. And these promoters wanted me to come and tour with people I'd never heard of. We want you to tour right around the country, do your affirmation songs in between Dr. Deepak Chopra, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Stuart Wilde, Tony Alessandra, Bob Proctor. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That
Wow.
wasn't even in my trajectory. I didn't know about motivational speakers or anything. I'm rock and roll. That's it. But they offered me so much money, I couldn't say no. And I said to the band, look, it's just going to be a week touring around Australia to start with, and we haven't even started back up yet. I'm still not completely healed, but I'm pretty good. And I said, we can get a new drum kit, we can get this, that. And I went, yeah, go and do it. And by the end of the tour, like Deepak said, you've got to do this overseas. I've never heard affirmations done with music, like rock music like this, because I had all the people up on stage singing it and the lyrics up on a thing. And then when I worked with Bob Proctor on a separate tour, he just said, I want to work with you. I never want you not to be in one of my events ever again. He said, that just changed the whole audience. And he said,
Wow.
I know they know who you are, but still. So then I worked with him for 7 years all around the world. I stayed with my band for 6 months because otherwise the wives in the band would have killed me if I didn't give, like, let's have a good paycheck for the guys for the last 6 months. But then after that, I went solo. I still did tons of rock songs in different languages, in different countries. I lived in Malaysia for 3.5 years and had hit songs there. And I've never stopped doing music. I mean, my last album I just did last year. So I've never stopped. It's just that they're positive now.
Mm.
And they bring the mind into new hemispheres of positivity. When someone's feeling low, you put on the song and you can't help it. You don't have to emotionalize it. The jingle stays with you forever. And that's where you want it.
Well, let's back up and let our listeners know Bob Proctor of The Secret, which is a documentary about the law of attraction that is a blockbuster, just worldwide audience. So her, Michele, being working with Bob Proctor must have catapulted you to international stardom.
No. Um, sorry.
No, no, tell us.
This is years before The Secret came out. Yeah,
Oh.
Rhonda Byrne from The Secret was one of my customers. She bought every product I've ever made before The Secret came out, everything. But Bob said the reason you can't go on it is because you're short and blonde and Australian, and so is she. And we look a little bit alike, so she couldn't have me on. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I love Rhonda; she's awesome. But what made it was because people from all over the world were asking me to do these huge events. And so I didn't just work with Bob. I started being asked to speak and sing, because I started speaking and singing and writing books and doing stuff. So I started being asked to perform all over the world, lots of different countries. So it did help working with Bob, because it was amazing working with him and creating products. And I did re-recorded all his stuff, because his stuff was never done as good as it should have been for someone
Mm.
of his caliber. But no, back then we had to promote a lot for one of the events. He wasn't that well known yet, just in certain circles. But The Secret really helped him a lot. But he became very famous, us together, working together in Asia. And then it sort of crept over to, he's from Canada, crept over to Canada, and then Australia, of course. He was sort of well known there through promoters. But yeah, but he was amazing. I mean, I've worked with a lot of different very well-known first-rate authors, but he was the most genuine out of anyone I ever met, and so
Mm.
generous and giving and funny, so irreverent, which I love, being a rock singer.
Yeah, yeah.
And more, he didn't pretend to be something he wasn't. He was just very, very funny. And he was, because he's left the body now, he was like my best friend at the time for 7 years, and him and his wife, they're just amazing. And it was fun working with someone like that, because he was just open to doing anything. He ended up writing songs with me.
Wow. That's
Yeah. So,
fabulous.
yep.
So you've also created some apps, and your newest creation is something called the True Prayer app. Tell us about that.
Well, one of the things that's happened to me, I ended up working with an enlightened teacher for 14 years and I became awakened myself. But before that, I found my heart had opened to a love of God and I didn't really know what God was. So I was searching, my heart was out here with love for the world and I was having these mystical experiences. So I wanted, and Bob Proctor said, you need to find an enlightened teacher. He said, I had one. And he said, that's what you need to do. And so I went off the grid for a long, many, many, many years traveling the world with this teacher and eventually awakening. But one of the things I always loved doing was praying. Ever since I was a little girl, I used to go to mass every morning.
Wow.
When I was a little girl, I just had a love for Jesus because that's all I knew of God at the time. But then I started learning about Yogananda and all these other amazing, amazing teachers who were enlightened. I didn't know what it was. And then I found what it was. So when I found out how to pray and what prayer really does, people don't understand what prayer is. They think it's begging God for something when they're in dire straits. But it's a completely different thing. And it is actually very, very powerful and it works miracles. So I wanted to do a meditation and prayer app. And I got to work with one of my students, actually, 𝗟𝗢𝗥𝗘, who's amazing. And it took us 2.5 years for her to do the developing and finding out how we could get it done. We'd already done 4 other apps, but this was the one. So I recorded, I lost 14 pounds in 2 months of recording these prayers because I was so in my little home studio, just in this bliss of samadhi, these prayers just coming through me, tons of different categories to release jealousy, for healing, for money, for releasing self-sabotage, to gain self-esteem, in a divine, just tons of different prayers for everything you can imagine, even for mourning a pet who's you've lost a pet. So hundreds and hundreds of prayers with me praying for you and praying for your loved ones, and all these tons of great, very short, just 6 to 8 minute morning meditations. And it's already a phenomena. People from all over the world it's only been out for 2 months. And the Android version is going to be released next week because we only had the iPhone version.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank Johnny and Dara and Trevor Rogers and especially 𝗟𝗢𝗪 for the huge amount of work that went into creating this. And it's not any particular religion. I do quotes from the Buddha, Jesus, St. Teresa of Avila, St. Augustine, Jesus, of course, the Buddha, all the different modalities and religions of the actual teachers that I've studied that helped me awaken.
Wow.
I just, so it's very, very mystical. It's not any particular religion. And everybody, I don't care who they are, if you say to someone, I know someone who really can do prayers that work, would you like me to get them to pray for you? Would you say no?
No, I would not say no.
Exactly. So even I know that we've had some closeted people who say, oh, I love this prayer app, but don't tell anybody.
Oh, that's funny. Well, you work with so many people via your courses, your apps, your songs, your public speaking. You teach practical tools for elevating consciousness and overcoming emotional challenges. Can you give our listeners an example of a practical tool you have used that has uplifted someone, enabled them to activate their own intuition?
Well, the songs, the affirmation songs,
Mm-hmm.
millions of people have downloaded those songs globally and put into different languages. And we've got a free app, which is just with the songs, called Affirmation Power. And it's got other affirmations as well. And people can get that just for free. affirmationpowerapp.com. They can just get that for free. And it's a great way to start because say you don't have faith or believe in this sort of stuff, you just got to listen.
Yes.
And before you know it, you're singing along to I am healed or different magnet to money. And even if, people have come to me sometimes just because they want more wealth in their life. And I say, great, because I don't want anyone to suffer from not having enough money either. Money's a good thing to have. It gives you freedom. And so even if it's just, they've just come to listen to the abundance songs so that they can, utilize the law of attraction because they've got those great positive songs. The magnet to money song is our most popular. It's huge globally. And people just love it because they're like, I'm a magnet to money. Money loves me. What? Who knew?
And you probably have people who have come back to you and said that the app and the song about attracting money has indeed resulted in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just we've got so many tens of thousands of reviews and testimonials. It's insane, from video
Mm,
reviews to everything. And because they work, because it's simple. People who teach spirituality or positive thinking and they want to make it sound complicated are not doing it right, because it's
mm.
not complicated. Mwah. Keep it simple and spiritual. Kiss, kiss, kiss. I'm a very simple
Beautiful.
person. I'm a very simple person, and I don't like complicated things. You don't need to live in a complicated life. It's complicated enough, this crazy world. Not the planet, not the nature, but people.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
tricky. They're tricky, tricky.
Agreed. Agreed. And going back to meditation and prayer, it was explained to me once that meditation is listening for your higher power and prayer is conversing with your higher power. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, silence is the language of eternity. It is the silence, it's the stillness.
Mhm.
You know, Thomas Troward, who I used to love reading all his books from the 20s and 30s, and his main prayer was just, God, may there be more of God in me than me, and then silence.
Mm,
And when I first heard that, I was in Penang on the just done a concert on this big hotel, and
mhm,
it turned me on so much. And I mean in a spiritual way, people,
mhm,
that
mhm.
I at 3 o'clock in the morning, I ran down to the Penang beach in Malaysia and just ran for miles and back and forth,
Wow.
because it just, I had this explosion of light. What a simple prayer. May there be more of God in me than me. It's
That's
like
beautiful.
that's it. So yeah, silence, stillness, and just just being like Gandhi. He just said, silence is prayer.
Yes.
Silence.
Yes.
But that's why I like to do the prayers, and then I've got music after them, so you can be in stillness and
Mm,
feel the transmission of what you just heard. And if you can repeat that and say it yourself as well. And that's why we also put the True Prayer app as a little booklet, so people
mm.
can just read the prayers and then just let it ride over them. Just
Yes. Yes.
hearing things that are so simply prayed for, that just came through me, these beautiful prayers. I just felt angels with me, and angels are real, people. I don't care what anyone says. I know that they're real. I've had the experience. So
Wow.
it's there's so much people have got within them, Maria. It's
Yes.
like it's like they've got all this power and this light, and they can change anything in their life. And that's why I love the affirmation songs, because to start with, when your life's complicated and you're going down rabbit holes and you don't know how to get out of them, just listen to the music. Just listen.
Mm.
That's it.
Wow. Well, you also have bi-monthly Zoom virtual events, webinars. And do you conduct them personally or do you have other people on your team
No,
who help?
no, just me. Yep.
Wow, you
Yeah.
do a million things, my
Yeah, I do.
God.
I do at least 4 big Zooms every month, and a lot of them are free. And I do, for the mystical experience, there's members,
Hmm.
students, whatever you want to call them, and they get at least 3 a month as well. And it's just, I never did it before the lockdown. Then when the lockdown came, because I used to do really big events. I've got a big event coming in April in La Jolla, but I used to do them live. People would fly from all over the world, and so when the lockdown came,
Hmm.
we just set it all up. We got like a huge television set, and I can see everyone, and lighting, and 2 cameras, and it's we have a blast. Everyone's laughing, because I feel, as an entertainer, having that
Hmm.
experience, I can entertain people and get them to laugh quickly. And when you go to get into laughter and just being around a lot of other people on the Zoom who are joyful, and we do the affirmation songs and lots of different things, that's when they can get the transmission of light, because they're not thinking. Because when you go to a seminar and they're getting into therapy and going too deeply into, do you know that about yourself? It's like it takes them down the rabbit hole of the past. And that's not where I want them. I want them to be releasing their past and be in the moment, because in the moment is where true change, positive change happens. And
Yeah.
I love to see people laugh and be happy, because when you're laughing, you're not thinking. So that's a meditation as well. I've even got a program called the Laughing Meditation.
Ah,
I brought everyone into the studio, and if they weren't laughing sincerely, I would have these big signs up, and it's who farted?
oh, that's great. What
Just
a
to get
great way
everyone
to
in the
make
studio
people
to be
laugh.
laughing, and little babies laughing as well.
Yes. Oh, wow. Well, your work is so healing and you have such a wide reach. So I would encourage everyone to go to 𝗟𝗡𝗥𝗡.com to start, and then you can find all of her offerings. So I like to ask all of my guests the following question. What do you do, Michele, to become your best version?
Well, that's a good question. Thank you for asking. I'm 68 now, and the reason I feel so young and fit is one of the main things I do is exercise every day. Of course, I meditate all the time for other people and everything. So, of course, meditation's number one.
Mhm.
But, and every day I think, what can I do today to make other people happy? And to make myself happy, I exercise and I dance to all the disco songs I loved in the 70s. Casey and the Sunshine Band,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I love dancing on the treadmill. My cat gets on there with me.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen that before. Wow.
Yeah, he's a big YouTube. He's got fans. My cat on the on the treadmill.
Oh, I'll look at that up. Wow.
Yeah, so I think I don't. People don't understand. They don't understand. When I was in that hospital, Maria, and I was thinking, oh my God, because I was dancing cartwheels, everything, every night on stage for hours. That was my
Mhm.
exercise. I
Yeah.
was so fit. And when people you've got a body. And if you're not in a wheelchair, even if you're in a wheelchair, you can still, I've got friends of mine who do wheelchair basketball that are amazing, so fit. Just begin to exercise, people. Your life will change. Your positivity, your endorphins start going. Your blood pressure goes down. Please exercise your body, because
Mhm.
it is so amazing when you feel fit. It's just too good. And then as you get older, you don't get old. You can run up those stairs. You don't have to be like, oh, these are the exercises for when you're in your 60s and 70s. Rubbish. My grandmother, when she was 68, I thought she was 110. Because it was a different time, and
Yeah.
women didn't exercise back then. But my mother left the body last year. God bless her, my Minnie, and she exercised all her life. She left the body when she was 93, and her mind was so clear and crystal clear and everything.
Wow.
But because she exercised so much, she did yoga.
Oh,
You know.
it's amazing. Well, thank you for that reminder, and thank you for all the light you put in the world. I really encourage all of you to go to themysticalexperience.com and check out her work. She's uplifting thousands of people across the globe. Thank you for being with us today and all the wonderful things you do.
Maria, I love what you're doing. Everybody watch all of her podcasts, listen to all her podcasts. She's amazing. You become your best self when you listen to this beautiful lady called Maria. Sound of Music, anyone?
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Maria.
Oh, miracles are happening to me right now and every day. A miracle.
Before you go, please, if you want to receive some amazing high vibrational success meditation, tons and tons of free products, go to micheleblood.com/links.